All right, so let's start this broadcast by some breaking inputs that have in fact just come in from France, where according to reports, the French authorities have now revealed that they have grounded a flight that was bound for Nicaragua over suspected charges of human trafficking. Now, the flight was carrying an estimated 300 Indian passengers who are believed to be victims of human trafficking. The Parisian Public Prosecutor's Office has said that the flight was in fact grounded after anonymous tip-off that the plane had taken off from the United Arab Emirates, and the National Anti-Organized Crime Unit, UNALCO, has now taken over the probe. Authorities say that the flight remains grounded on the tarmac at the Vatry airport following its landing. Reports say that Indian passengers might have planned to travel to the Central American nation to try and gain illegal entry into the United States or perhaps in Canada. This, of course, is the big story that we are tracking on WION at this moment, where about 303 Indians who were on board a flight which landed in France have now been grounded there on suspicion that they could be victims of human trafficking. And my colleague Siddhant Sibil is, of course, joining us with more updates on this. Siddhant, what is the latest that you're picking up on this incident?
Well, the latest is that prosecutors have filed legal case in the entire matter, and this looks like a clear case of human trafficking, though we are still awaiting the final word from the authorities. And 300 people, and what the media reports in France have been saying that these people are Indians, is a shocking development. Now we are awaiting responses from the Indian authorities as well, but as you pointed out, the flight was it started from UAE and was bound for Nicaragua, and it made a halt in France, but that technical halt was converted to grounding of the plane by the French authorities because they suspected this to be a case of human trafficking. But that reception area has been converted as a place where all these people can be brought out, and of course these people will be interviewed, details will be taken, and of course shared with the concerned authorities. Now, usually in these matters, the embassies are reached out, and in this case it's the Indian embassy which will be alerted, and consular access will be given to its diplomats who will be, of course, taking the matter ahead. And this involves multiple jurisdictions, UAE, France, Nicaragua. If you look at the company, which is a Romanian one, that company, so Romania, and of course Latin America's Nicaragua as well. So essentially multiple jurisdictions and geographies will be involved in this matter, which is grabbing international headlines.
Absolutely, indeed. And this of course is a developing story, and more information at this point of time is needed before anything concrete can be said. But the fact that these are 303 individuals who happen to be Indian nationals, they were traveling via a flight. So one would assume that they'd have gone through the immigration process, and one would assume that if they're traveling via a plane, then they would have their documents in place to make this international travel. Because generally when we talk of human trafficking, it is people going through these small dinghies that they make their way across. This is a very strange sort of a case that has come up. At this moment, Siddhant, have we picked up as to why the French authorities suspect that these 303 individuals could be victims of human trafficking?
Well, there was an anonymous tip in this case that led to the grounding of the plane, and the authorities suspected it to be a case of human trafficking. And this is a large number, but let me tell you, the flight started from UAE. Now, India has a large number of blue-collar workers in the Gulf and West Asian region. In fact, Indian embassies face the highest number of problems when it comes to the Indians, local Indians. There are a number of cases with the Indian embassy, who of course successfully intervene as well. There is a kafala system as well in the West Asian countries. So this is of course something that India has been raising up with the West Asian counterparts. So essentially this is the matter, and this is a major story right now, which is still a developing story, as I pointed.
Absolutely indeed, Siddhant Sibil. Thank you very much indeed for joining us with those updates, and we'll of course come back to you as this story of course develops. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.